What's going on, y'all? Now, look, y'all, it's time for us to discuss NBA free agency. I feel like I haven't talked about the NBA since the season ended, for real. And it's been a lot of headlines, a lot of waves going on in free agency, a lot of things going on. This guy going over here, that guy going over there, certain guys staying with certain teams. And then we got trade requests being made by an NBA megastar, right? Yes, that's right. Kevin Durant has requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. And this decision came only 3 days after Kyrie Irving decided to, he picked up his $37 million player option with the team for the 2022-2023 season, right? And I'm telling y'all right now, when I heard this news, I could not, all I could do was be disappointed in Kevin Durant. For real, that's all I could do was be disappointed in that brother. Because this was his chance, his opportunity to lead a team, to be the driver of the bus in a championship team. Like, he was supposed to be the driver of the bus for this organization and lead them to the promised land, right? What's been the criticism of Kevin Durant? He cannot lead a team on his own. He has to join a team with another superstar, like, not another superstar, but he has to basically have another superstar drive the bus. It's not the problem that he joins another superstar, is that another superstar is the driver of the bus of his team. He can't do it on his own. And we all know when he was in Golden State, yes, he was the best player on that team. Yes, he was the finals MVP, but Steph Curry was looked at as the driver of that bus. Draymond Green was looked at as also the emotional leader. Kevin Durant was not looked at as a leader on that team, which is why you had guys like Draymond Green getting into his face, cussing at him and all this and all of that, because he wasn't the leader of that squad, and everybody knew it, right? So going to Brooklyn was his chance to start off on a clean slate. They were going to start with him and Kyrie Irving, and they were going to be the guys that, look, we're going to get Brooklyn to the next level. We're going to get them to a championship. We're going to bring a championship to New York. That's what Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving wanted to do. But instead, Kevin Durant, things are not going his way in this situation, and now he chose to skedaddle. Pew! He up out of there now, right? And this does not look good for Kevin Durant at all. They got Kyrie Irving to opt in for the 2022-2023 season, and Kevin Durant says, nope, just like E40, man. And I'm looking at this like, the brother don't look like a leader. He does not look like a leader at all. Instead, he looked like a guy who cannot lead a team down the home stretch, and he has to have another guy with him, and he has to be second in command in order for things to happen, in order for a team to win a championship where he's at. KD is leaving an organization that really, honestly, he's leaving an organization that gave into his every request, right? And he's leaving without having much team success within the organization at all. They got one playoff series win with all these superstars, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving being together. It was for limited time with James Harden, but they've been together for a while and got one playoff series win to show for it. That's not okay. That's not enough. That's not solid. That's not enough for him to say, okay, I'm trying to leave to greener pastures. It's not enough, brother. And the moment his organization, because look, I'm not going to let him off the hook because James Harden left. Oh, James Harden left, and you know what? It didn't work out, so you can leave. No, because James Harden wasn't a part of the original plans in the first place. It was him and Kyrie Irving, right? And James Harden came in a blockbuster trade at some point, but it was just him and Kyrie Irving. So I'm not giving him okay, James Harden didn't work out and James Harden wanted to leave. Okay, that is what it is. Now, we can say, all right, Kyrie Irving, he didn't take the shot and he wasn't there for a full season. Stuff didn't work out, whatever. But, all right, cool. He could at least gave it another shot, at least one more shot with Kyrie Irving to see if they were going to uplift that mandate on the COVID shot. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to take the shot, but if they were going to uplift that mandate or, exempt him and then see what would go on from that point. But Kevin Durant don't even want to be around for that. He say, I'm out of here, right? And again, this happens after he didn't have much success in this organization at all. He didn't have much success with this team. They only got one playoff series win to show for it, man. That's not enough. I know the Brooklyn Nets organization, Joe Tsai and them, they feel cheated. They feel gypped. They only got one playoff series win for real? That's not okay, man. And I know guys were hurt at different times, but you at least got to give it one more shot to try to see if it was going to work. The Brooklyn, and instead, the brother chose to leave them high and dry. This is this breaking up of the Brooklyn Nets. This is the biggest flop for an assemble of NBA superstars in history. Yes, it is bigger than, I don't count that Dwight Howard and Steve Nash going to the Lakers because they were like that. Steve Nash was on his last leg and they at least got, you know what I mean, they got to the playoffs, but they wasn't looked at as winning the championship. Like Steve Nash on his last leg, Kobe was hurt. It didn't work out, right? It's even bigger than, you know, Karl Malone and Gary Payton and them losing, because they at least got to the NBA Finals. They at least got to the finals and they were winning a string of games going crazy, right? This team here, bro, they ain't even sniffed the finals. And all these dudes was in their prime, both of these dudes, right? They didn't sniff the finals. And some can say, you know what? It's because of the team chemistry. Kyrie Irving wasn't there all year long. You know, things didn't go their way or whatever. All right, cool, right? But they really man, bro, they was playing hellified defense on Kevin Durant. Had that boy locked up, they won't let him out, no. Had that boy in solitary confinement. Jason Tatum and them was like, they was like honing in on them, making them say, nah, you're gonna have to work for this. And they could not come up big, man. And now he's choosing to leave instead of running it back one more time, where it could be a possibility that you can have a Kyrie Irving for the whole entire season without any restrictions. He didn't even try to run it back with that, man. Like, again, he's leaving this situation where they have one playoff win to show for the entire KD Kyrie era. And this is all of the good favor that KD garnered up during this whole situation is now gone. It's disintegrated, right? Because at one point, Kevin Durant was looked at as the most favorable person, the most favorable individual within the Nets organization. It wasn't Steve Nash because he was being out-coached time after time, right? It wasn't James Harden, who was off in a shell of himself and then chose to request a trade to get up out of this situation. Kyrie Irving was not looked at as the most favorable individual in this situation because he did not take the COVID vaccine. He did not, you know, fulfill an obligation to the team, not taking the vaccine, but he wasn't there and available for the team for the whole year. So Kevin Durant was looked at as the adult in the room out of everybody, right? He was the guy still playing, still hooping, still trying to give it his best effort all the time, right? And then when the situation ain't going how you want it to go, he up out of there, man. I'm telling y'all, don't talk about Kevin Durant and this man right here, LeBron James, in the same sentence no more. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear that shit. Because outside of LeBron James leaving Cleveland that first time, during that first era, he got a chip before he left any other organization, right? Before he left Miami, he got 2 chips, right? Before he left Cleveland, the second time, he got a chip there, right? Now, if he ever chooses to leave LA, he brought a chip to Los Angeles already, right? So he's gotten his chips, and he's been the one driving the bus on those championship teams without a doubt. He was the certified leader on all of those squads, right? Some might say, oh, Dwayne Wade or whatever, but no, LeBron James was the leader of those squads. Like, I think Dwayne Wade in that first season helped LeBron James by telling him, look, this your team, you the guy, you the man, we gonna get out your way, you gonna steer the ship for us, you gonna lead us to the promised land. And then LeBron James like, okay, it clicked in the second year, and they won 2 straight chips. He was the leader of those teams, right, in all those situations. And he won a chip before he left any organization outside of that first time in Cleveland because they couldn't get him they didn't surround him with no other help to help him, right? But KD, he looks shaky on this situation. Kevin Durant is looking like the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz. The brother looking like he ain't got no heart. He ain't got the heart that it takes in order to propel yourself to championship status. He looking like he looking heartless in this situation, y'all. Like, for real. Instead of just standing up, and it's the thing, Kevin Durant is a hellified talent. He is an amazing player. Everybody know that, right? He is a dog. Like, I mean, as far as on that court, he's an assassin. He can hit crazy shots. He can do things that a lot of basketball players before him could never do, could never dream of doing, right? But this is the problem. He goes away from challenges before playing out his contract. Say what you want about LeBron James. He ain't never requested no trade and try to he did not try to get out of fulfilling his contractual obligations. He never tried to get out of that. He fulfilled his obligations before leaving. And instead, Kevin Durant is running away from the challenge before his whole obligation is fulfilled. That ain't solid, man. Like, I don't care what nobody say, man. He played out. LeBron played out his whole time, everywhere he went, right? But this situation right here, this doesn't help Kevin Durant. This doesn't help his case of being the best player in the world. This doesn't help that case at all. The man could have, like I said, he could have given it at least one more try. But instead, the man did, y'all know what the game song on the game, the documentary album, I'm running, ooh, that man getting up out of there. Got to live for today, cause tomorrow ain't promised to me. He said tomorrow ain't promised to him. I'm getting up out of here, I'm running. And when they really, really needed him to stand high. And this is the thing, man, because I always hear people say this. Just like it is for LeBron James, the organization, the Brooklyn Nets in this situation is in place the way it is because of Mr. Kevin Durant. Just like y'all say the Lakers are the way it is because of LeBron James, and it is. The same situation goes for Kevin Durant. The only difference in this situation is LeBron James has brought a championship to the Lakers organization that was absent, that was without one for years. They didn't even go to the playoffs for a nice amount of years, right? So he got them to the playoffs and they won a championship. Kevin Durant is now leaving his team high and dry, and they didn't get nothing out of the deal but one playoff series win, right? And now it's being rumored that Kevin Durant is trying to go to either Miami or Phoenix, two squads that were most recently in the NBA Finals. That does not look good on his part, man. It's helping him look like the 10-man, all right? Kevin Durant seems to be not okay with adversity at any stretch. He don't really be, he's not okay with adversity that much. When adversity comes, the brother try to figure out a way to get up out of there immediately. Even before trying to get that chip done, before filling out contractual obligations. Now, if you fill out your contract and it don't work, it is what it is. But he choosing to get up out of there and run when he not even done with the whole situation, man. Like, it is not a good look. He hitting at the slightest sign of adversity, the man is hitting the dash on his team. That ain't solid, man. And now it's also a rumor circulating that it's possible he could be considering a return to Golden State. Now, I'm praying and I'm hoping that is a damn rumor. I'm hoping that's a rumor. I'm hoping he don't try to go back to a championship team that just won. I think that's just a rumor. To give credit to Kevin Durant, I don't think that came out of Kevin Durant's camp. I'm thinking that's just a rumor. And I forgot who reported that. Mark Spears or somebody like that. Or something, I believe. Knock on wood, I'm sorry. I'm guessing. I'm not so certain that Mark Spears said that. I gotta go back and look. But I'm praying that that's just a rumor. I really do think that is. I'm gonna give Kevin Durant the benefit of the doubt in that situation. That's probably just a rumor, right? But if he go back to Golden State, oh my God, fam, he ain't gonna never let that down. Never, right? And the point of this video, and when I see Kevin Durant requesting a trade from Brooklyn, the point of this video is that now we see that Kevin Durant cannot lead his own team to a championship. That's the bottom line. He can go somewhere and be the best player on the roster, but he cannot lead his own team to success because he is not a leader of men. All right? Kevin Durant is not a leader of men. And I know y'all gonna say, well, he can't help what Kyrie Irving does or whatever. That's very true. But try to give it one more go and see what y'all can do together so you can have your own solidified legacy. LeBron James, now, of course, he went to Cleveland with a hellified talent in Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, right? But they weren't recently in the finals. They weren't recently in the playoffs, right? Those guys had never been to the playoffs before. LeBron knew they were talent, but LeBron was the guy driving the bus for that championship organization. He fulfilled out his contractual obligations, and he won the chip being the guy, being that guy, being the leader of that team. And he was the reason why they got to the promised land. He was the main reason why. Now, Kyrie Irving was a big reason why they won, because he was coming to hoop, coming to play with LeBron James night in and night out. They had that 40-point game apiece. Was it back-to-back 40-point games apiece? LeBron had a string of 40-point games, I remember, in that situation. But I know one night in particular, they both had like 41 points. They came to hoop. Kyrie was a dog. He rose to the occasion and so on and so forth. But LeBron James was the guy that drove the bus. And when he went to Miami and won, it solidified his legacy beyond his wildest dreams. Because not only did he win in an organization that hadn't ever won a championship, he won in his hometown, not only just his hometown, but he won after coming back from a 3-1 deficit. That's amazing, right? Kevin Durant needs that moment to solidify himself. He's an all-time great talent. We know that, right? But he needs that moment to be looked at in the ilk of being better than a LeBron James. And if he don't have it, You ain't telling me dude better than that dude back there. And this ain't just speaking from the fact that I'm a LeBron James fan. This just comes from me watching basketball, y'all. I'm sorry, I see what I see, man. Kevin Durant is the 10 man out here, man. Like, he is not a leader of men. He cannot lead a team on his own. He hasn't proven that yet. Now, it is to be seen. We can see what happens from that if he were to go to Portland or something like that. And I'm speaking as a guy that Kevin Durant is a hell of a talent. I would love for him to be on my team, the Chicago Bulls, right? Because he's that much of a bona fide talent for sure. But it's showing that, man, like, when stuff don't go his way, he gonna get up out of there and try to get up out of there and request to leave at the slightest turn before trying to put forth an effort to try to do it with your whole unit. You know what I mean? When adversity come, he getting up out of there skedaddling. And again, man, I don't think he can lead his own team to success. That's it. That's all. Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all leave your comments section. Y'all leave your comments in the section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Peace.